Don't you just love adding insult to injury? This is the latest information regarding the police chase in Cleveland, where two unarmed people were shot with 137 rounds, including one officer who jumped up on their hood and emptied his weapon directly through the windshield. This guy was found not guilty. And now, even when the police want to acknowledge that something wrong was done here, the police union, has issued a statement that everybody that was fired, demoted, etc., is going to get their jobs back, and including back pay. Now, there's no guarantee that this is going to happen, but the police union basically is saying, fuck you, we're stronger than you guys are, and by the time we get through with you guys, no matter what our officers do wrong, they're going to be covered and there's going to be no consequences.
We're back with some breaking news in the national lead today. The Cleveland Police Department is now talking about its decision to fire 6 officers who had been involved in a deadly police chase. The chase was in 2012. It spanned 20 miles. Tim Russell was the driver. Melissa Williams was in the passenger seat. Apparently their car backfired. Officers mistook it for a gunshot, began chasing them. Ultimately, the police officers fired 137 shots, 49 of them by Officer Michael Brillo, who stood on the hood of the car and fired 15 rounds. He was acquitted of manslaughter last spring, so why take action against the others now? Let's bring in CNN's Miguel Marquez. Miguel, Cleveland's police union just wrapped up a news conference. What'd they have to say?
They gave the results of a 2-year investigation. They broke things down into 2 different pieces, the pursuit and the shooting. With regard to the pursuit, this is a wide-ranging investigation, very complicated story. 12 supervisors were faced administrative charges, and 74 officers total on just the pursuit side faced administrative charges. In the shooting side, Officer Brillo was the only officer that you mentioned in the lead, was the only officer that was ever indicted for this on manslaughter charges. He was acquitted, but 13 officers are facing administrative charges. 6 of them were fired. The union says that the officials who did this investigation sought the answer that they got, that is the firings and that all these officers will get their job back.
This is what's called result-based investigation. Somebody somewhere said, hey, get me to this point. Every single one of them is going to get their jobs back. And you guys out there, the taxpayers of this city, are going to be paying the back pay and everything else that's going to be associated with that.
Now, with regard to the shootings, the individuals who were not fired faced suspensions of between 21 and 30 days. For the pursuit side of it, those individuals who, there was one supervisor who was fired, everybody else is getting demotions, suspensions, letters of re-instruction or letters of reprimand. Just a massive investigation and coming down very hard against many, many officers in the Cleveland police force.
All right, Miguel Marquez, thank you so much for bringing us up to date with that story.
2 people lose their lives because their car backfires, and then all of a sudden they get shot 137 times. And the officer who jumps up on a hood and empties his gun into, his magazine into, directly into him through the windshield, he's found not guilty. And they say that there's justice in America. Bullshit.